World of Warcraft Classic just released a little over a week ago on August 26th. It is definitely an interesting time to be a gamer. Gaming really took off in the 1990s, and a lot of beloved series were introduced before being refined to perfection in the late 90s and early 2000s. One of those games we saw surface in 1994 was Warcraft. Over a decade ago, the gaming industry was not afraid to have players work for their end goals of the game. This was particularly true in RPGs at the time. A player definitely took a stroll through the more notable titles. Think of Elder Scrolls Morrowind, or Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. Players were also expected to read quests given to them in detail, and sometimes even read random books that the game had around to offer. These texts would often help build the world in which the players were experiencing, or even go as far as to give subtle hints about where to look for interesting treasures or more quests. The vanilla version of World of Warcraft definitely could not be further from the Elder Scrolls or Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic. But it did bring that sense of scale to its world, and absolutely made the player put in some effort to reap its rewards. I played vanilla WoW back in 2004, but only casually, as I did not own a copy for myself. I had to go to a friend's house on a weekend where I had a character made. I would later transfer him over to another account when I went off to college so that I could keep playing. But as anyone who has played or is for the first time now experiencing the game, the quality of life aspects are few and far between. At the time of its release, however, we didn't really notice or care. It was obvious after a couple of hours of playing that you really did have to band together to overcome obstacles. The beauty of World of Warcraft at that point in time was that it was relatively simple things that became great experiences. Trying over and over to defeat an enemy, but alas, a mage came by, and you invited them to your party, and though the battle took long and perhaps 10 more minutes than it normally would have, you still managed to edge out a victory and even get a rare drop. Or perhaps you entered an enemy territory to get that raptor as your hunter's pet. As a game, it's hard to review. People love and understand WoW because it has been out for so long, and it is, or maybe was to some of you, a great game. And we are in the prime time for nostalgic 30-year-olds that are hitting their strides in life and not afraid to buy a few niceties. But the real magic happening is the community, wanting people who have not played this style and pace of a game to love it. People are more willing to help out others with quests. The general chat, dare I say, is tame, and folks are entering with a mindset to stop and smell the roses. Today's market of games are ever moving towards fast-paced, almost theme park-like rides. They provide instant gratification and leave little room for replayability, only to satisfy us until the next game comes out during another quarter of a company's fiscal year. That's why here at Donaram, picking a game to really dive into and talk to our audience about can be a challenge for those looking for any depth of lore or of story. But the vanilla version of World of Warcraft was fresh from the success and expansiveness of Warcraft 3 that really took the game's universe to a whole nother level. If you're a fan of RPGs at all, give this one a try. At $15 per month, you can make quite a dent without breaking the bank, even at this slower pace. And that's why we're giving this game a 4 out of 5 cold ones.